Robin Selinger, APS Speaker of the Council, is here with me now. Thank you so much. It must be nice to be back.
Oh my goodness, yes. I'm so excited to be at this conference. I can't tell you.
So talk about the focus this year.
The focus for the council this year, for the spring meeting of the council, which is coming up this April, we're really going to drill down on how APS central services meet the needs of our units, specifically in the area of communication. So the question is, are our unit leaders getting the messages through to the members that they need to? What is frustrating them? What is not working? What is working? And if there's things that need to be fixed, what are they?
How do you all get that message out?
Oh, APS is working on many fronts. So let's just say that social justice is a really important family value for the APS. Within APS, we have also this effort called Delta Phi, headed up by our immediate past president, Jim Gates, talking about Delta, in physics just means change, and Phi represents physics. So Delta Phi is how do we change the culture of our own community? So looking at, to combat bias, to combat discrimination, and to really try to transform not only our meetings, but our classrooms, our laboratories into places that, that are welcoming and inclusive to everybody. As a woman growing up in science, when women were relatively few, I remember I was an undergraduate at Harvard. There was not a single female faculty member, not a single one. And I went to a luncheon for the sophomores who had just identified as physics majors. And I looked at all the tables at all the 100% male faculty. And I looked at the women who were serving the meal. And I thought maybe I'd rather have lunch with them. It was a time. But look at this meeting. The first invited talk I heard this morning was a wonderful talk by a full professor from University of Pennsylvania, who is a woman, and it was a fabulous talk. Right? We have such a tremendous increase in the role of women in APS, and we hope to see the diversity of APS, not just from the viewpoint of gender or gender identity, but also ethnicity, racial background, socioeconomic background. One of the challenges is unpaid internships. I teach at Kent State. Most of my students need their part-time wages to get by. So I just saw in February of this year, NSF put out a statement saying grant holders of NSF grants can apply for a supplement to pay a high school student to do an internship. I'm actually leading a high school internship program at Kent State that's free, and it carries free tuition for a student to get a college credit for doing the internship.
Some progress.
Well, we are paying our undergraduates. So NSF has been funding for many years the research experience for undergraduates program. I'm happy to say we have one of those at Kent State in our chemistry department, which also covers the Advanced Materials and Liquid Crystal Institute where I work. And we pay our undergraduates. If we're going to be equitable and get more students, that are not the ones that can afford to do free labor to get their foot in the door, it's a social justice issue.
So as you embrace your leadership role in the council, what are you most looking forward to?
Being in person, because we've been on Zoom I went to my first council meetings, I think I went to 2 that were in person. And then we, for the last 2 years, it's been Zoom. And just to actually, there are people that I've been Zooming with every 2 weeks for a year, right? And then I actually get to actually see them at this conference. I'm so happy. But the other issue is one of the things we miss out on in Zoom, we're in like a session where only one person talks and everybody else listens. We miss those conversations at the coffee break, at the lunch table. And one thing I'm trying to introduce as a best practice is using other types of online interaction besides Zoom. There's other things like, Gather.town has been used extensively by APS, or Wonder.me or Spatial.chat. That's like a virtual social gathering where people can cluster in small conversations. It's not like one person talks and 19 people listen. It's like 2 people can be talking over here and 3 people talking over here. And you can move your icon across the virtual room and say, hey, Lisa, how you doing? And Lisa's like, oh, do you know my friend Gary? You have the social interactions like you would have in a normal place. And so, and that way you get that informal communication that we've been missing so much.
Well, hopefully all good things to come. Robin Selinger, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dina.